Hi there, my name is William Michael Forbes, and I want to welcome you to this evening's presentation of a channeling on behalf of King Solomon, of all people. I was quite surprised when the information came to me that he wished to deliver a message to people in general that are ready to listen regarding the effect of human emotion on the world around us. I'm not going to be speaking too much. I'm actually getting myself centered in as he starts to come in to speak directly to you. He will address fundamental questions about what it is he speaks on. So I'm going to request that any of those people out there that are intrigued or interested by this or want to know more about this to structure their questions around what he speaks on. His energy is very, very high. It's very powerful. It is literally like light coming down around and through my body. He is a very compassionate man. He has said that in the past there was a lot of things that weren't understood about who he is and what he stands for. And he's using those very specific words. He wishes to speak on how your emotions are impacting the world. So I'm going to kind of let him come through, but at the same time, I may try to translate some of what it is he's saying if it's in a language that I can't properly articulate. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this event this evening. I have come here because you and humanity are all at a very important point in your evolution and consciousness as it's moving upwards. There is very little information as to what impact what each of you feels has upon the world around you as well as the world within you. And I am here to remind you, to remind yourself, and to communicate to those who are open to understanding these simple truths of what emotion, energy do to your environment, to your body, to the world around you, and even beyond that. And he's motioning very wide, beyond what you see. Understand wars, pestilences, global events in the time in which I walked this earth, and even to this day, all events that you see and bear witness to are events that are caused by the emotional energies that humans tend to share, disperse, and receive. Your ability to identify your emotions and use them effectively is very limited. And so it's important to know that it is not a very complex thing. Your emotions are very simple. They are the stream of the light that comes to you and gives life to your body and gives life to the tree and to the bird. There is such a ridiculous simplicity to it that everybody tends to overlook it. And those in great positions of responsibility have refused to disclose the simple truth for fear that they will not have. And the end result of that fear is that they will not have. As society, civilization, humanity has been reset time and time again because of the errors in not understanding the simple ability to cultivate a feeling that is based in life and love and growth. It is important that you learn to be mindful, of your feelings and the thoughts which you use to construct those feelings. Very few of you are being mindful enough to say these thoughts will create something, and those feelings that these thoughts create will go out like ripples in the water of a pond or an ocean and impact anything that they come in contact with. Each single person on the planet today has an unlimited capacity to get in touch with and utilize this emotional energy through their thoughts. Some are confused in that they think that their thoughts and emotions are something that are being imposed upon them, and this is not true. The other error is that there are many who conspire unconsciously to convince many that their thoughts and emotions are beyond their control and that they need something outside of them to control them. That you need some mechanism outside of you to control your thoughts and emotions for you in order that things be right. And nothing, I say to you, nothing can be further from the truth. That you are the sole chooser of your thoughts and emotions. That no other, unless you give them right of authority to direct your thoughts, can direct your thoughts but you. You may assign authority, and by that reality, you give up your rights to create the world that you so desperately wish to experience, which everybody has yearned for. And we say everybody, whether they are a street person, or a king, or a father or a mother, all seek to experience the bliss of the light that is the love that moves through all of us. And yet that love and that light says, I will be whatever you wish me to be. And it's time to say, it will be and is what you wish it to be. And it is time now to become conscious, all of you, to be mindful of every thought, where it comes from, what you choose to allow your attention to dwell upon. You have the power and the ability to choose your thoughts. And if you choose them carefully, you will be choosing your emotions. Thoughts and emotions are inseparable. Inseparable. They lock together like chains in a fence. Like chains in a fence, your thoughts and emotions are linked together. You can break the link of any thought and emotion and create a new connection. And I'm feeling him being very assertive here. If he could, if he had a pulpit in front of him, he'd be hitting it right now. Because he's saying, it's important you understand that you have power beyond measure. And it starts with a single thought, and a single thought, and a single thought, consciously and deliberately chosen. And emotions put together with those thoughts. You are impacting and destroying this physical planet, not because you wish to do so, but because the very nature of the thoughts and emotions that you harbor in your hearts determines the outcome and the manifestations in the environment around you. And it would be ridiculous to assume that your thoughts and emotions do not impact beyond the confines of this little planet. That it too radiates out your emotions, all of you together, delicious in this planet of love and light together here, making a hell out of heaven, and yet you can make a heaven out of hell if you choose to. The choice is yours, but know that you cannot restrict the effects of your actions to just this planet. There is a direct correlation between what is happening in your environment and what happens in the cosmos around you, in your immediate environment. And when he says immediate environment, he's talking with regards to the solar system. He says your numbers are not sufficient enough to disturb anything beyond the confines of your heliosphere. He's describing that whole space that the sun protects the solar system with. You do not have enough energy to affect beyond that, but you are affecting what is within that. These steps, he says, are first to notice your emotions. He says, notice your emotions, not like a stern person, but gently. Start gently. Notice your thoughts and ask, is this thought good? Is this thought not good? And choose the thought that's good. When you get a feeling that does not feel good, do not choose to give it attention, because it's not good and will create that which is like itself. So very important, those 2 points. Start little thoughts. If you got a lot going on in your mind, then it is important, very important, that you stop it. Take one thought at a time. Because sometimes a single thought can be like a thread that you can pull and unravel the noise of your mind, the noise of your emotions, by just getting one and then another and another. And he's saying, take the negative thoughts out and replace them. Replace them with positive ideations. Every civilization that has been on this planet has risen and fallen because of emotional energy and the unwillingness to take full responsibility for the thoughts that we all collectively share. For there is a group agreement among all of humanity. And if you agree to suffering, you will experience suffering. So a man can come up to you, or a woman can come up to you and say, hey, I've got this thought. Think about it. I've got this nightmare. Focus on it. Look at this death and look at this destruction. Look at how good they are. Look how bad they are. They can focus you any way you wish to be focused. Or you can say, no, I do not wish to watch that mechanism you call television, because it conditions me to be afraid. It conditions me to not trust people. It conditions me to not love and honor and respect. And this, above all, will turn things around. Love, honor, respect. Without those, humanity will reset. There are certain inevitable outcomes with certain qualities of emotions. You cannot escape that truth. The gravitational forces on this planet indicate that if you drop something, it's going to fall. Very specific effect. In a different environment like space, that rule changes. Okay, he's saying, I'll take questions now. They can be relevant to what is going on in your realm emotionally or with regard to thoughts, to begin to make corrections. Because without correcting yourself, you cannot correct another. If you wish another, he says, if you wish another to change before you change, you have got it backwards. You must change you before you can have any influence on another. Change yourself first. You can't expect the neighbor to be good and kind to you when you're not good and kind. You must become that which you wish to experience from others. Yeah, I'm asking him to step back now. And just so you're aware, my partner Norma Jean's here, and she's going to field your questions for me because of the way I have to orient myself physically to allow this energy through. So I'm going to take any questions you have at this time.
Okay. So I have a question here. What is the impact of light workers on the planet right now?
The impact of the light workers on this planet today, as you call them, is that it's keeping a balance. He's saying there's a balance being maintained. So the scales, he says, are doing this right now. It's back and forth and back and presents this balance between dark and light, dark and light. The light workers, if more people, he says, move towards the feelings and actions and thoughts of love within the space of their own mind and in their own actions first, this effect can tip the scale back to the healthy imbalance. He's using those words, the healthy imbalance of love. Yeah. Do not underestimate your thoughts, any one of you. It's easy to think that you are alone or not enough, but that is just a thought too. For within each and every one of us is the unlimited cosmos, the great one that is all present is within you, and it loves you. It will give everything to you. It will let you rise and fall, but you must choose. So do not underestimate the power of yourself as a light worker, as you call it.
When someone approaches you with their opinions that may be lower in vibration, what is your guidance in order to maintain one's own vibrational frequency?
The first step is to recognize that that person, if their opinion is, as you say, of a lower vibration, then to recognize and have compassion for them first and foremost, and to make a decision not to engage the conversation that would support that. Allow it to come into your system, because when you sit in front of a person, they're communicating a vibration to you. And if you sit and listen, you're receiving that vibration. And yes, you can resist the influence of that vibration by choice. But why allow that vibration to have a place in the world, let alone in your own mind, let alone in theirs? For if you resist that which does not serve you, they cannot serve you with that which you resist.
Can the negative effects that we have created on the planet be reversed with our thoughts?
The question is actually yes. There's no other way to say it. Any thought forms. You're sitting where you are sitting asking that question. If I ask you to think about your most beautiful food that you've ever eaten, or the most wonderful time you've had, your system, your body will feel the feelings of that. And your body will begin to move and feel those things, and you'll communicate those things. And maybe you had a great time last night with your friends, and you go out, and you're talking about that good time you had last night, and everybody's going, oh, wow, that's wonderful. Whatever thought or feeling you communicate will impact the time and the space around you. It will affect the people around you, even if you speak no words, but feel the feelings, if you think the thoughts. I'm going to step in and offer a suggestion. This is something I suggest people do. Go to like a coffee shop or a restaurant and move into a state of love and joy and emanate that wherever you go. Coffee shop, restaurant, public library. Find a place where you can move into a state of joy. And for 5 minutes, just stay in the state of joy and radiate it out and watch what happens with the people around you. It'd be amazing. He's nodding his head and saying, yeah, it's really simple. It's like that. Note what happens wherever you are, you can see that whatever is around you is a product of what is within you. And when you change what is within you, you'll change what is around you. The civilization that you called Judea fell because of emotion. All civilizations rise or fall because of emotion and thought. Next question.
So it's just a little bit to get clarity on that. So what you're saying is to be in a place of allowing while being in one's own vibrational frequency.
That is actually correct. To allow the other to be what they are without accepting it, without receiving it. To stay centered in what you know to be true, to not take it on. You don't have to judge them or find fault with them, for then you would be putting yourself in the very thing that you seek to relieve yourself from. But to stay centered in the value, the love, the goodness that you know, and to radiate that.
How do you transmute negative energy to light?
There are many ways and methods that have been practiced throughout the centuries, throughout millennium. A single sound that you find pleasing to your body can change a negative emotion, which is why so many of you love music. Connecting to somebody or looking at something that pleases your eyes can change an emotion. Or even if you focus your attention on any idea or belief or thought that lets you feel joy, will change. They're very simples. Very simple ways. Very simple ways. It's not complex. Very simple. You could whistle a song. You could walk through a forest. You could drink water. Anything that elevates your sense of good and focus on love and light and pleasure will change things for you. It's not that complex.
Okay, so why do people get so much pleasure out of negativeness like horror movies?
One's attachment to suffering is part of the problem that humanity is facing. A lot of people are attached to suffering. It feels right to them because they're so used to that feeling. Whether it's a pleasurable feeling or a negative feeling, both hold an appeal to the senses, make you feel a certain way. Anger will make you feel a certain way. Joy will make you feel a certain way. And you can choose to get excited about anger, which many competitive sports generate that sense of strength and power from anger, which is the reverse of what real power actually is. But in societies throughout history, the idea of feeling good by overcoming something or someone is a fallacy that has long held humanity back. So to get to a place where you stay centered in love and joy will take humanity in a very different path. It will not stop creativity. Some might say that you have to have these opposites of pain and pleasure in order to grow. And to a point, that is true. When you have had enough pain, you will surrender it and move towards pleasure. When you surrender the pain and you only have the pleasure, you can still grow. You don't need to suffer.
Someone has made the comment, hunger, pain, bodies. Is that true that our bodies are, in that sense, hungering for that feeds them?
Your body is a mechanism that you inhabit. You resonated with this form and came into it. Just as all forms, consciousness comes into the form because of the resonance, the harmony, the connection. And your body has certain fundamental needs, like a tree or a bird or a whale. Your body too has certain fundamental needs. But this vehicle that you are in, that is your body, is a vehicle that you're in that is meant to be subjective to you. It is not meant to be the ruler of you. But the sensations of this mechanism can be very stimulating and override good sense. Addictions, drunkenness, attachment to pleasure have shown conclusively that people can get lost in the pleasure of the senses, but that does not mean that they have to remain there. So this has absolutely no control over who you truly are, but you can surrender to it by saying, oh, I like this taste and I like this feeling and I love that food. You can eat whatever you want. Eat, drink, and be merry. But what you eat, drink, and get merry for may consume you.
Very good. So we have a question here which is of a personal nature, if that's okay, from Summer. And she asks who Avery is to her mother. A guardian angel, perhaps? They're both very curious since it was he who suggested to her mother for her to take the mediumship course.
Well, he's asking me to ask you now, of what benefit will this be to have this information? What do you see that as being beneficial for? He says he will answer the question, but what will the benefit be? For we are talking about your thoughts affecting the emotional realm of this planet and the people. So you are going to choose what this answer will be. So of what benefit will it be?
She says, haha, great question back.
So what is the benefit?
No reply as yet.
Thank you. If the answer is yes, or if the answer is no, what would be the difference? Somebody named Jonathan is just stepping in here and saying he'll answer this question for you. Avery is just watching. When needed, you can call on them. And they will assist you with the problem. He's not saying what that is, just saying the problem. Ask Avery. He will assist you with the problem. Okay. Solomon will take one more question.
Okay, so what would be the advice to those that are continuously caught up in either an emotional, because as we come to ascension and all the negativeness is coming up, and I know you already did speak on that, is just to shift their sight to positive and just keep switching to positive. What is the key thing to do?
To experience the realm as you wish to experience the realm is to demonstrate and be that which you wish to experience in the world. You cannot make those who are attached to their pain and suffering surrender their attachment to their pain and suffering. They must be willing and ready to release their attachment to it, but you can make yourself ready to be there when they are ready to do so. And you will know when someone is really ready to release their suffering and their pain, because they'll say enough, and they'll do the things that they need to do to prove they're ready to release their pain. So you just need to be that which you wish to see. Thank you. I think I'm good. I want to thank anybody coming by. Thanks, Solomon. Okay, thank you, John. Again, thank you for coming by. It blows my mind that we all have this ability to communicate to many different levels of consciousness. And I just want to remind everybody that if you're interested in learning how to do this, because everybody knows how to do this is natural to who we are. It's natural to be able to tap into different bandwidths, different levels of communication, just the same way as we can, tune a radio. And there's a course coming up in a Facebook group called Intuitive Angel Messages that are going to be teaching a course on mediumship called Mediumship 101 course. That'll be beginning January 15th. I highly recommend, if anybody's interested in learning how to channel, to talk to their guides, to talk to different beings, to receive messages, I highly encourage you to get involved in that course. And I invite you to that. And I want to thank you for coming. I really appreciate your time. And have yourself an awesome and joyful day.